What's going on, YouTube world? Austin Lewis here yet again, coming to you guys with another YouTube video. And as you guys saw in the title as well as the thumbnail, this YouTube video is going to be with my good friend and business partner James. He's pretty much just going to be breaking down for you guys exactly how he was able to take a $10,000 account and flip it to now over $20,000, specifically with one trade. Now, obviously, you guys are going to get a chance to hear James's story, how long he's been trading, what he's been trading in terms of pairs. You're going to be able to see his success stories, but I kind of just wanted to give him the opportunity to give you guys the breakdown of how he was able to flip his account from $10,000 to $20,000. Now, again, we're going to be talking about this one specific trade. Now, James does this with a lot of his accounts. Now, obviously, for those of you that are unaware or don't follow our Instagram, Fortunes in Freedom, we just literally went live with our fund about last week. We have X amount of investors into this, offering 10 to 30% on a monthly return. So if you're interested, make sure and pop over on that Instagram and shoot us a DM. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to intro James. He's on Zoom with us right now. I'm going to have him just share like a quick background story of who he is. Obviously, tall, skinny, and handsome, and a crazy individual as well, jumping in 25, 32 degree weather. So I'm going to go ahead and mute myself on Zoom. I'm going to have James just go ahead and share with us a little bit about his background, why he got started in trading, how long he's been trading, and then he's going to share his screen. So make sure and stay tuned to the very end of this video. If you guys haven't already, make sure and smash the thumbs up button on it, because it does help the YouTube algorithm. As well as if you're looking to earn money in trading, then definitely stay tuned and subscribe to the channel, because we're going to be coming to you guys with weekly videos on how we are able to take specific trades and profit on them depending on the pairs. Now, James, I'm going to turn it over to you, brother. Just share a little bit about your story for everybody that's tuning into this video right now. You know, because your story is obviously inspiring, and to see what you do on a daily basis is quite incredible.
Thank you very much. Definitely a pleasure to be a part of all this. So I've been trading since August of 2017, so about 3.5 years at this point. I was introduced to trading. It's actually a really funny story. I love to tell it. Basically, I knew about Bitcoin, and I knew about, like, I wasn't trading at the time, but I knew of these, financial instruments, whatever you want to call it. And I went into Dunkin' Donuts one night at like 2 in the morning, and I was with my buddy, and I was like, "Yo, I just want to get an orange juice and a muffin really quick." And I ended up meeting this kid behind the counter. His name is Alvin. He's from the town over from me. And he's one of my good friends now. But he basically was the person who introduced me to foreign exchange trading. And he was like, "Hey, you got to follow this guy on Instagram. He trades, like, he teaches people how to trade, da da da." So like I followed him, and I was seeing he was posting profits, $3,000 a day, $4,000 a day, $5,000 a day. And I eventually, I went to his Instagram. I saw his, he had his website on there, and he did an in-person course. So I ended up flying down to Florida to learn from him. And I had a lot of success from the beginning, to be honest with you. I was still working a job at the time. I worked in a steakhouse, Morton Steakhouse. I had been there, I was a server, and then I was a busboy, then I became a server. And I was working there. I had just started trading. I had a lot of success in the beginning. Like the first day I ever started trading, I lost like $200, right? The first day I ever traded, because I was at work. I was, with the tables, trying to balance it all. Then I actually had a day off, and I traded a $400 account that I flipped to like $6,000 in one day. Using, like, obviously high risk, but I ended up flipping that account to like 20,000 by the end of the week. And then I took my first big loss. I took like I lost half of the account, lost $10,000. I was just like, I was trading like maliciously, like I wasn't really, had not a great strategy, whatever. But I saw the potential with it, like I stood right off the beginning. I was like, wow, this is incredible. Like, you can really make some crazy money, if you really know what you're doing. So that was the first course I took. I think anybody that wants to become a trader, you have to have an appetite for learning. You have to just love learning and always want to, continually better yourself, not just with trading, with your body, with everything. You just have to always want to get better. That's how you'll become one of the best. So it took me a while to start seeing like consistently seeing big numbers. Like anybody can win in a day or in a week or whatever, but to be consistent month over month, make money, withdraw it. Your trading is like a business, so you really have to treat it like that. If you don't have capital, then you don't have a business. So, but yeah, it's not about the money, honestly. But for me, it's really just about the freedom to be able to do whatever you want. Not have to answer to anybody. Like I wake up every day for the past 3 years. I haven't worked a job. I get to do whatever I want every day. I hear people talking every day, like, I have to go to work. Oh, like I don't want to go to work. Like, and that to me is like the saddest thing in the world, because you spend almost half of your time at work every day or in a week or whatever. Your living, breathing moments are spent at work. So if you don't enjoy your job, then that's just really like a terrible thing, in my opinion. So I happen to love trading. Yeah, there are days when I lose and it's not so good, but I always have my freedom. So that to me is the most important thing.
Dude, I absolutely love that, bro. So, been trading for how many years in total?
Three and a half, about three and a half.
Okay, so 3.5 years trading, been looking at charts. I know since last time we had talked, you said you were looking at charts for much longer than that.
Oh,
So,
well, yeah, like I said, I've been looking at Bitcoin charts and things, but like really, like when I started like investing in my knowledge and education of trading, yeah, like, and really trying to make money. Like, yeah, I traded Bitcoin. Like that's how I first started. I was watching a YouTube video about trading Bitcoin with like an indicator. I would make a little money, whatever, lose. I was breaking even at that point, essentially. Yeah, I did that for like a year or 2 years, whatever it was. And then I, came across this guy and I was like, you know what? Like I want to really invest in myself here. I'm gonna fly down to Florida, like see what this shit is really about. Pardon my French. But yeah, so that's really, yeah. But it's probably been about like 6 years in total. If you want to count, I mean, I bought my first Bitcoin in like 2013, so I was like 14 years old at the time. So really like 7 years maybe at this point. Like
yeah, that's incredible, dude. Okay, so what I really want you to do is kind of break down for everybody that is watching this video right now. You took a particular trade, which was actually the
yeah,
first trade that
I
we
fun.
made in the fund.
Right.
So um, that part was incredible. You literally texted me at like 2:30 in the morning and was like, "Yo, just hit." So I want you to share your screen
Yeah.
and kind of just dive in for us watching this video. Heck, I'm going to go back and watch this video. Kind of what the essentially what the like the psychology behind your trade
Absolutely.
was. What did you see? What did you want to see? What were you aiming for? And then obviously everybody watching right now, including myself, when I rewatch it, is going to say, holy cow, you took an account from 10K to over 20K. So share that with us, brother, man.
Yeah, so this was the area. I'm going to delete everything off my screen right now. Basically, so I took the trade off of the daily time frame. That's usually the time frame that I analyze the most. So most of my trading setups come from supply and demand zones, which are zones that are drawn out of wicks, in a specific way that I draw them. But this was the zone that I had here, which was something like this. Um, and I'm gonna go down to H1 here. I'm gonna adjust this. Let me hide this really quick. All right, so I'm sorry, I have to adjust this. Okay, so so this zone basically, like, I mean, I have a lot of different strategies that I trade, but this particular strategy is just, when price comes into a certain supply or demand zone, which it did here. We wait for the price to enter the zone, and then we wait for the lower time frame structure to break, and then we can, take an opportunity based on that. So the price entered our zone here, around this 77, 750 area. And then, price was continuing. It was still bullish at this point. We had a minor break right about here. The actual break that I traded was right here. We had like some higher lows here, and then price broke below and then retested here, gave a good bit of exhaustion off of this M5 candle. So I entered my shorts here, and my stop went above the high. My stop was not too much. It was really like a 7 pip stop loss, so it wasn't very much. And then my TP was actually about 530 or something, like right around this region. It was based on the zone that I based the take profit on was was here. It's a little bit of demand, like a H1 demand zone right here in this wick. And then I had seen in like the lower time frames. Um, sorry, I seen the lower time frames price came in. Sorry, it was right here. Price came into it here. Got a bit of exhaustion on like the M1 time frame. We had like a very minor like break of structure. Like price created like a higher high. I can actually I'll go to M1 really fast. I don't really analyze very much on M1 because I wouldn't recommend any new traders to do it. Like, if you have a bit of experience, then, go ahead and do it. But I don't know how the hell I got here. It's hard to navigate these time frames sometimes. But yeah, so I had seen price come in here. We got some good exhaustion on the lower time frame. Price, made a lower high here, broke out of this high, and then I closed the trade right around here after I made a little bit of exhaustion. And then I ended up making a very good close. Price, ended up retesting much higher. It would have if I had held it, it would have stopped me out. I could have gotten some type of re-entry. I really could have made a lot more money on this trade if you really think about it. I knew it was good for, I was satisfied with the moment with the, I caught this move. Like that was no doubt about it. Like I caught the whole move. I could have, scaled back in, reanalyzed. Obviously, I left a lot of money on the table. I could have had an extra, who fucking knows, I could have had an extra 50, 60,000 if I held the trades that I did. But, I definitely, I just take my very high probability trades as they come. And then I'm not a swing trader, it's not really my style too much. So even though I can.
For sure. So tell us why you aren't, just out of curiosity, because in the only reason I'm asking this right now is because, I'm looking at this particular chart and these trades and everything like that. Like, and I know you've said it multiple times when it comes to trading, you're like, hey, I've left millions of dollars on the table, but there's also going to be millions of dollars to go acquire.
Right.
Why is swing trading, for example, not like why don't you enjoy it as much as, like, for example, that 1.5, 2 candlesticks essentially doubled your account from 10K right. to 20K. So that's phenomenal. But now if you look at it with where it's at, I mean, just looking at those 2 candlesticks Absolutely. There, particularly, I mean, you probably would have had an extra 30 or 40 or 50 grand
easily. I mean, I had 60 lots in there and I closed it at 530 about. So current price is about, 130. So it's an extra 40 pips on 60 lots. It'd be about like an extra like 25,000 or something like that. Yeah, but honestly, like for a couple reasons. One, I'm usually trading like high leverage or like just like big position sizes. So it's a lot for me to I don't sleep comfortably. Like if I have, I in my trade for like a day or so, like, I don't sleep comfortably with big lots in and things like that, especially when I'm trying to flip an account. Like it's too risky. If the trade itself was, a bit risky, but it's riskier to hold it and just, like when you're in profit, you're in profit, like I try to secure what I can if, because in this scenario, I would have had to give away all the money that I made and then some, and probably would have taken a loss instead, because that's why when you're swing trading, you have to give a lot more room for error. You have to be a lot more lenient with how much you're willing to give up, in terms of that. And just the time, you never know how long the market's going to take to get to your target. So for me and my daily convenience, I just like to be in trades for one session, 5, 6, 7 hours, whatever it is at most, and then go about my day and go on to the next trade just for that. I don't know. I know people that hold trades for days and weeks and months and things like that, but it's just not my style. It's never really been my style. I can do it, but I think I'll be more profitable, just continuing the way that I do, because I can just catch a small move, get out, maybe the next session. Like, for example, like this move, it's all about this. The sessions are very important. So for example, like I took this trade right around 1 a.m., 2 a.m., right before London session, right? And then 3 a.m. it made the drop and hit the zone. And then it retraced after I closed. And then the next session right around here, New York session, 8 a.m. is when the next move happened. So I could have theoretically closed this trade, reanalyzed, waited for another, opportunity when it came back into the zone and then gave us a nice, exhaustion candle here. And then I could have, re-entered the trade at an even better price and made even more money, So I feel like I'm able to catch more pips by catching piece by piece than just trying to go for the whole thing. But everyone is different, so everyone trades differently. Some people like to just set a trade in and just forget about it for a week or so, and have a big stop loss, but just not trading with as high lots and just more more relaxed style of trading. But I'm in this, I'm in this every day. We're in the trenches.
I love it, dude. Okay, well, obviously that makes all sense in the world. And obviously, like, your style of trading is not going to work for everybody, and swing trading style is also not going to work for everybody. So, people that are watching this video right now, you just got to essentially pick your poison. I know that James spends a lot of time, analyzing the charts. He spends more time analyzing the charts than he does actually physically trading. And that's, no doubt to that. So, again, I just wanted to have him on and share with you guys exactly how he was able to flip an account from 10K to over 20K. And yeah, he could have made another 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 60,000 bucks, depending on the lot size and depending on where it continues to go. Obviously, it's the weekend right now, so nothing's happening in this particular ordeal. We'll see where it ends up on Monday or Sunday night, I guess I should say. But at the end of the day, that's what he was looking at. So I had so many people come to us and be like, holy cow, because I posted this thing on my Instagram story that was, how quickly can we flip this, $10,000 account? Well, we flipped it with literally one trade. And when I say we flipped it, I mean James flipped it with one trade. So it was so enticing to so many people of being like, how the heck did you do that? So I said, James, why don't we come make a YouTube video, talk to us about, just your entire analyzation of that particular trade. So James, thanks so much for doing that for us, brother man. And then for those of you that are interested in shooting us a follow on Instagram, I'm going to put James's Instagram handle right here, as well as our Fortunes and Freedom Instagram. Make sure and come follow us. Stay up to date with our profits.
I just want to say I appreciate everyone that's been reaching out, showing interest, saying kind words, people that sharing their own journey. I love to hear it. Everyone's got their own story to tell, and there was a time when I struggled with this and I thought about giving up multiple times. I had my parents telling me, yo, you need to get a job, you need to do this, you need to go back to school, you need to do all these things. And it's the toughest when it's, the people's closest to you telling you these things. But at the end of the day, like it's your life to live. You make your own decisions, and this you can really be successful doing anything if you put your mind to it and have a good strategy and just work the plan and plan the work. So I'm glad I stuck with it, and there's a lot more in store.
I love it, dude. Some wise words and motivation from Mr. James, ladies and gentlemen. No, I think it's it's inspiring, man, to see what you're doing, and I'm excited to literally be a part of it and what's
Absolutely,
to
you
come.
already are a
And
part of it.
yeah, exactly. And, really where it's going as well. So, again, if you guys have any questions, reach out to James or myself on Instagram. Reach out to Fortunes and Freedom. If you guys haven't already, make sure and like this YouTube video because it should be shared with probably 1 million or 2 people. That way, we can get James the recognition with that sniper trade that he made. Go out there and make your dreams and goals a reality because you, in fact, are absolutely worth it. Austin Lewis here. James, thank you so much again, brother man. And if you guys have any questions, drop in the comment section down below. If you guys like this style of video, then also drop in the comment section down below. And we will come to you guys weekly, sharing with you some specific candlesticks, some specific trades that were taken by James to be able to make the profits that you guys watch on our Instagrams. Ladies and gentlemen, Austin Lewis here, saying we'll see you guys in a future YouTube.